Hi, Biskies. What has Dad got?
And today's Simply Our Imagination.
What is this channel? What is this collab?
Simply...
No. This channel is Simply Blessed Crafts, but what is the...
Just Our Imagination?
There you go.
On today's Just Our Imagination challenge, we'll be working with coffee filters, a hairbrush, car keys, wait, a pick. And why were any of those under the blanket with me?
I don't know. Why did you stuff them under the blanket with you?
Unsubscribed.
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribed. Hey!
Alright, guys. So, Just Your Imagination. And it hosted by Rustic and Lace DIYs. Me. And Kathy Joe DIYs. So, I'm your guest host this month, you guys. And our must-use items is a hairbrush, hair pick, and coffee filters. Yay! So project number 1. We're going to get right into it, you guys. And I am going to take this coffee filter and I'm going to cut the middle out of it. I did already technically do a one up there, but I'm actually going to redo that one because I kind of flattened it out and I find out a different way to do it, and I'm going to show you right here. So I'm kind of just doing a fan motion here. When I flattened it out, I didn't really like how it turned out, so I was kind of playing around with this. But this is basically what I'm going to end up doing. So I'm kind of showing you basically what I'm doing. But I'm basically going to make kind of a circle thing here. I'm kind of forming it. And we're going to basically glue these ends together. And then I'm going to put a little glue in the middle after we kind of folded all of our little ends, kind of, or formed our, I don't know how you want to say it. I kind of ruffled it. Let's put it that way. I kind of ruffled what we wanted here. And now I'm kind of gluing the middle of it. I'm basically making... there's a word for this and I cannot think of it for some reason. I'm drawing a blank with it. Anyway, I'm going to take that middle piece that we cut out of it and I am going to trace this around in some paper, some scrapbook paper, and I'm going to kind of fold it all different shapes and sizes. I kind of wanted it to look kind of crinkled. And then I'm going to glue this down in the middle of our little rosette. That's the word I was looking for, rosette. And then I have some of these vintage pictures. These actually come from Tim Holtz collection. And I'm just going to cut out her head, basically. I do have these borders as well, these like picture frames and stuff that I have in my stash. These also, some of them came from Tim Holtz and some of them came from Temu. I'm not sure which ones are which, but this one, I seemed like it was covering up too much, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this one was perfect. It was like they was showing more of the piano paper or the music paper, and I actually like the color of it better. It kind of went a little bit more with the picture. It was kind of a little bit more of a bronze, so I liked that more. Here I'm just kind of poking a hole in our rosette, and I'm kind of just running So this one I'm actually using yarn. I kind of wanted a tassel of some sort, but I didn't really go a tassel, I guess. I grabbed a bead, and here I'm just tying it off. I did have to tie a couple of knots in it because this one had a really thick hole in it. But then I'm just kind of fraying the ends of it to just kind of give that frilly end to it. And then I'm going to punch another hole in the top of it, and we're going to use that for our tie. You can put a little hot glue around the end of this as well, and I've noticed that when you do that, these do not tear very easily when there's hot glue. These are very hard to tear when there's hot glue. Anyway, project number 2, and you're gonna see my mistake here, and I put this in here. I don't know what the heck is going on with these brushes, but this is the brush that I chose to use, and I went to go use my wood burning tool, my hot knife here, and I was just going along trying to cut the top of it off. I didn't want the and my tip actually busted on me, guys. It busted inside of my heat tool. Like, just cracked off. So I had to go a different route, and I had to have my husband go down and saw the handle off for me. So yeah, fantastic. So now I'm gonna have to get another heat gun, or another burning tool. Anyway, so right now all I'm doing is I'm grabbing my X-Acto knife, and I'm basically going around the edge where the glue is to cut into the glue to kind of loosen up where that rubber piece is for the bristles that are glued into the brush. That's basically I'm doing. I'm just releasing that part. So I'm going to use the plastic part, and we're going to set aside that that bristle part. So we have to use the bristle part, or the picks, or whatever it is. We have to use that part, and we have to use part of the plastic on the brush. They're all hating me because I'm the one that chose the brush. So just so you guys are aware of this, this is mine thing that I chose. So I painted this black first because I wanted to cover up all the weird designs. Now I'm gonna go in. So first let me back up a little bit. I painted it with Mod Podge, then I painted it with black, and I went over it with another coat of Mod Podge to seal in the black. Now I went over it with the it's actually Christmas green, but it's metallic green. I really love this color. And I gave it probably a good 3 coats of this color to give it the color that I wanted. Now I'm cutting out another piece of that scrapbook paper that I love, and I put it down in there. And then I'm putting down a little piece of lace ribbon. Whew. Alright, anyway. So my idea for this was kind of making an ornament, but I wanted to make kind of like a shadow box ornament. I have another one of these little Tim Holtz pictures, and this little girl holding this little teddy bear is just absolutely darling. I thought about like a little girl opening up the teddy bear on Christmas morning. How adorable would that have been if that was her favorite little toy? So that's kind of the reason why I went with this one. It was just cute, would have been adorable for a Christmas ornament. I was going for kind of like the vintage look, so I grabbed some of this tinsel, and I'm kind of just wrapping it around to make it more vibrant, Christmassy. So now I'm just gonna grab some greenery and some little pine cones, and we're just gonna decorate the top of there since I kind of ran out of the tinsel. I put 3 little pine cones down, just kind of getting them set where I wanted them. And then I grabbed some of these little red berries off of this pick that I had here. Kind of just got them situated in there. And now I'm going to tie so this is the little part here that's left over from the handle. It's just a little hole. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to just stick the hanger that I'm going to make for it just right down in this little hole. I figured it was going to be perfect. So I did that and I just covered it in hot glue. It was solid down there in the bottom from the brush to the handle. So I just put a bunch of hot glue in there and just stuffed it down in there. Made sure it was all good and tight. And then I'm going to put this cute little bow right here on top, right by it to kind of hide the roughness of it. And it turned out adorable, guys. Project number 3. So here, we're going to use the spiked part from the brush, the bristles. So I'm going to grab a sock and I'm going to cut it above the heel. This was not my original plan. Let me put it this way, guys. This is not my original plan, but I thought of this when I was getting ready to craft it, and I'm just like, how adorable would this be? So I went this direction. So I cut the sock. I'm putting polyfill or poly beads in it just because I ran out of rice and I had it on stash. And now I'm going to fill the rest of it up with polyfill. And now I'm going to tie it off with some rubber bands. Now, if you're going to tie this off with rubber bands, guys, make sure that you tie this off with some thread or some jute or ribbon or something along those lines. Make it nice and tight, because rubber bands have a tendency to break or dry rot over time. Now, I am going to take a long brown bead and a little, it's actually not even a bead, the little wooden one is actually just a wooden ball that I glued inside of it. And now I'm covering it with classic caramel. I'm going to set that aside to dry. Now I'm going to grab one of my beards that is multicolored here, and I'm going to glue this down to the front of our little body here. Now I'm going to grab our bristles and I'm going to stick this to the back of our little body. Now, I originally had an idea of just making a small one to put on my tree, but I couldn't figure out how to do a body to put for his stuff. I didn't have anything in my stash. But then I started thinking, what would be cute to have a gnome for him? It'd be kind of cute. Right now, I'm just kind of grabbing some more of that yarn that I used earlier, and I'm just kind of wrapping around the edge of that because it was kind of looked a little rough. You could kind of see some glue strands and stuff, so I'm just wrapping around. Now, I have these hats that I actually bought for the 12 Days of Christmas from Amazon. I ordered them off Amazon, and I thought it would be really cute to have him wear one of those. And now I'm gluing on his little weird nose. He looks funky, but he's kind of cute. So here now I'm going to decorate the hat. If you guys don't know what I'm making, he's a little hedgehog. I mean, I'm into the whole woodland this year, guys. He's so cute. He actually probably is going to go on my tree anyway, even though he's a gnome. So I'm going to add a pine cone and some little berries. And then we're going to just add some little green leaves just to add some color. Some more greenery to the little spots there. But that's pretty much all I do to this little guy. And he is adorable, guys. Project number 4. This is going to be my hot mess, guys. This is the pick. Now, I struggled with this one, but my husband actually helped me come up with the idea for this. I have these little tiny beads in my stash, and he's actually the one that thought, since it's metal, these are actually metal picks in this one. This is one that I actually found at Walmart. And I could not for the life of me, but I saw the top of the hat, or top of the hat, oh my gosh, the top of the pick, and it actually looked like a snowman hat. So I was just like, well, maybe I could pull off the picks to make it somehow a snowman ornament or something. He had the idea of doing the beads. So I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I could do that. That's not a bad idea. So here, this is what I'm doing. The only reason why I said it was a hot mess is on my paint job is what I should have done is I should have painted a certain amount of beads prior to this and then tried to like get them on there or whatever. So because I'm painting these on while they're on here, I mean the paints, you know, I'm not that steady of a hand. I mean, honestly, I don't know anybody that would be with a paintbrush. I don't care how tiny your paintbrush is. Try not to get paint on all the other little beads is my biggest issue. I mean, it turns out okay. And I didn't want to have the hassle into trying to have to go and paint all of the white beads. So I left them natural. So basically, I'm painting his two eyes. And I did kind of measure out like 3 down, 3 rows across. So I kind of do have his eyes pretty straight, pretty, pretty asymmetrical, however you want to say it. And then I kind of measured out where his mouth should be, where his nose should be. I kind of did at the very beginning with the pen. So I kind of dotted where I should do it. And now I'm kind of doing his nose. So I go in with some orange, harvest orange, and kind of just do like 3 little, where his little triangle nose should be. This is all fine and it looks great from where you guys are, from the camera. But in person, the paint job is not the best. But I mean, I actually went in off camera and kind of filled in a little bit better with my pen, because I could get in there a little bit better. It was just very rough. I tried to even do the back side, so it kind of was back like both sides, but it was just becoming more of a mess. So I stopped with that, and I was like, I'll continue that later or whatever the case if I wanted to do that. But it was just getting to where it was just, I was running out of time, and I moved on. Right here, I'm just grabbing some ribbon, the same ribbon that I used in the second project, or the third project, I mean, my little, on the hat of the, our little guy. And I'm just wrapping it around the hat, and he used it for the scarf here of our little snowman. And now we're just going to decorate up his little hat with some more, greenery and some little berries and stuff. I mean, he's not bad, and I'm not trying to be hard on myself or nothing, and it's not like it's not fixable, and I'm probably gonna go in and fix it. This is vintage linen, I think, and I just kind of wanted to dirty him up a little bit. Like I said, I am going for the vintage look and everything, and then I went in for a little bit of the picked raspberry, I think, to rosy up some cheeks. So it does get a little all over the place with that too. But I mean, he's gonna be out in the cold, so he might as well have rosy cheeks. But I did kind of go with the vintage look a little bit, so I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more rusty crusty. So I did dirty up the beads a little bit with that. But see, he's not bad. I mean, it looks a lot better than what it does, but you can see the brown or the white around the white areas. There are some black spots that just end up getting covered with black paint. I mean, like I said, I don't got the sturdiest hand. But here's all the final projects, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Here's our little ornaments, and you saw our little girl up there in our little brush ornament. I think everything turned out very nice. I mean, I'm not disappointed with anything. I got my butt chewed on one of my other videos that I was too hard on myself, and I don't try to be hard on myself. Everybody's our own worst critic. But I do think that this little guy turned out adorable. You guys have to let me know down below what you guys think. What was your favorite? What would you have done different? What wouldn't you have done? Make sure you guys go check everybody else out the playlist. Give everybody some love. Let's see what everybody's going to do with a hairbrush and a pick. God bless you all. Make sure you guys go check out Kathy Jo and Brenda. And I will see you guys on the next one. We have Calendar Girls coming up on the 16th. So make sure you guys go check all of us out over there too. Bye.